It's finally here, my biggest review video yet. For those of you who might be new to my channel, I decided to listen to every No Limit album released between 1991 and 1999. After months of digging through the entire catalog, I'm officially done. This has been an incredible journey. Not only did I relive some amazing memories with these albums, but I also discovered countless hidden gems I'd never heard before. However, I also learned something else along the way. The No Limit fan base is honestly pretty terrible. It's full of people who all share the same recycled opinions and base everything purely on nostalgia. Most fans refuse to listen critically, and that's why the same albums keep getting overhyped. But let me be clear, while my experience with the fan base wasn't great, my experience with the music was phenomenal. I genuinely love most of the No Limit catalog, and unlike a lot of people, I actually take the time to thoroughly listen to the music before forming an opinion. I don't play favorites just because I grew up with these artists. I go into every project with no bias, purely to give an honest, fair critique. I might even be one of the only people who's actually listened to the entire No Limit discography front to back. And if you want a genuine, fresh perspective, this video is for you. But if you're someone who says stuff like you had to be there to understand certain albums, you might as well click off now, because that's one of the dumbest statements ever made. With all that being said, I'm about to give you my thoughts on every No Limit album from 1991 to 1999. So strap in, sit back, and enjoy the ride.
From the master to the crowd that surrounds me. Once the king speak, you suckers better bob behind it.
Master P's debut album Get Away Clean is an intriguing look at his early artistic beginnings before the signature No Limit sound fully took shape. The production stands out with its funky, catchy instrumentals that give the project an old school West Coast vibe. Clearly inspired by groups like NWA lyrically, Master P dives deep into themes of street life, money, women, and survival, all classic elements of early 90s gangsta rap. What's fascinating is hearing him experiment with a style that's rough around the edges, but full of potential. Even with odd quirks, like mismatched song titles that don't align with the lyrics, the project still delivers a strong sense of personality and direction. The hidden gem of the album is the bonus track, You Only Live Once, which showcases some of P's best storytelling and an infectious funk-driven beat. However, the project does stumble when it comes to the featured appearances from TRU, whose dry performances drag down a few songs. Despite those weaker moments, Get Away Clean remains a solid debut, a raw but promising foundation for what would become Master P's empire. It's a fascinating piece of early No Limit history that shows where the vision all began.
Until 11 in progress, cause I'm the type of nigga the police can't arrest.
Mama's Bad Boy is a major leap forward for Master P, showcasing his growth as both a rapper and storyteller. The album stands out for its range. Master P experiments with different flows, themes, and tones, even delving into the horrorcore style with raw, aggressive lyricism reminiscent of the Ghetto Boys and Gangsta Nip. Yet amid the darkness and street imagery, he also delivers deeply personal and emotional moments. Tracks like the title song Mama's Bad Boy reveal a reflective side of P, as he vividly describes the struggles of his upbringing and the difficult choices that shaped his life. The production adds another strong layer to the album's appeal, featuring soulful samples from legends like Curtis Mayfield, Teddy Pendergrass, and William DeVaughn. These instrumentals balance grit and emotion perfectly, giving P's very delivery room to shine. While a couple of songs fall short sonically, they barely detract from the overall experience. Mama's Bad Boy is one of Master P's most complete early works, a bold, emotional, and musically rich project that captures his hunger and creativity before No Limit's full dominance.
A nigga don't get no respect unless a motherfucker gotta come and snap some necks. So I play the game.
TRU's debut album Understanding the Criminal Mind is an impressive and powerful introduction to the group's raw talent and chemistry. Master P, E.A. Ski, and Big Ed all deliver standout performances, each bringing a unique energy to the project. E.A. Ski's aggressive and gritty flow gives the album its street edge, while Big Ed adds emotional weight with passionate, politically charged lyrics that reflect the struggles of the black community. The balance between gangster themes and social awareness perfectly fits the album's title, offering insight into the mentality and environment that shape a criminal lifestyle. The production is another major highlight, featuring creative and soulful sampling that gives each track a distinctive character. The beats are funky, melodic, and full of personality, helping to make this one of No Limit's strongest early efforts. While there are a couple of small missteps, such as a repetitive Marvin Gaye sample on Tell Them What's Going On, and a weaker performance from Master P on Let's Do It, they don't take away from the album's overall strength. With tracks like Ends from Cali, Little Slut, and I Wear a Bulletproof Vest, Understanding the Criminal Mind stands as a powerful and cohesive project that showcases TRU's potential and sets the tone for the No Limit movement to come.
Yo, it's on, but motherfuckers don't hear me, though. I've been paying fucking
Ski's One Step Ahead of Yall is a solid yet somewhat uneven debut that highlights both his strengths and weaknesses as a solo artist. Coming off standout appearances on Master P's and TRU's albums, expectations were high, but the project doesn't fully live up to the promise. While Ski's signature hype and aggressive flow brings energy, it becomes repetitive across the album, making some tracks difficult to sit through. His production work remains strong, especially considering he was behind many early No Limit beats, but the instrumentals here don't quite reach the same level of creativity or polish as his work for others. Still, the album has bright moments where the beats in Ski's delivery connect perfectly, particularly on One Step Ahead of Yall and Don't F With Me Part 2. Lyrically, Ski shows real depth when he steps away from pure aggression to tell meaningful stories rooted in experience. Mama Used to Say stands out as a powerful cautionary tale about ignoring life lessons, blending emotion, and storytelling effectively. It's these moments of reflection and narrative that elevate the project and show Ski's potential as both a rapper and producer. In the end, One Step Ahead of Yall is a good album that falls short of greatness due to its repetitiveness, but it still offers enough strong performances and concepts to make it a worthwhile listen in the early No Limit catalog.
Just the other day my brother got killed. It might be worth what you hang, but the project's where I live. I see my pot.
Who's the Killer marks an important transitional point in No Limit's history, serving as the foundation for the label's signature sound and the rise of its core members. The album introduces listeners to the early chemistry between Master P, C-Murder, and Silkk the Shocker, each displaying distinctive flows and personalities that would later define the No Limit movement. The project also bridges two regions, New Orleans and the West Coast, featuring artists from both sides, which gives it a unique dynamic. However, the Southern artists deliver stronger performances overall, with their natural synergy and energy outshining the often underwhelming contributions from the West Coast contingent. Tracks like the 7-minute opener Who's the Killer perfectly embody the group's raw street-centered energy and introduce the posse cut format that would become a No Limit staple. While not every experiment works, the album shines when TRU's regional styles mesh well, such as on Neighborhood, where vivid storytelling and strong chemistry make for one of the project's best moments. The finale, Ghetto is a Trap, is another standout, as Silkk, C-Murder, and Master P deliver passionate verses about the struggles of ghetto life over a powerful beat, showing glimpses of the greatness to come. Despite some lackluster tracks and uneven performances from certain artists, Who's the Killer remains a pivotal early No Limit release, offering a raw yet promising look at the label's developing identity and the talent that would soon dominate Southern hip-hop.
As I gauge out the window, I look at life, thinking of all the things I did.
Married to the Mob is one of the weaker early No Limit releases, as Sonya C never truly establishes her voice or presence throughout the project. Much of the album feels empty, with numerous guest appearances and filler tracks taking the spotlight instead of Sonya herself. When she does rap, the results are mixed. Her early performances sound flat, amateurish, and lacking conviction, especially when tackling street-oriented themes that don't come off as believable. However, the production by CMT and Ski is consistently strong, featuring soulful, sample-driven instrumentals that often outshine the vocals. Tracks like Life Ain't Nothing But a Game showcase how creative and polished the beats are, even when the performances don't match their energy. Sonya C does find her footing on a few standout moments. Bees Die in the Dope Game is easily the highlight, featuring a more emotional and authentic delivery that fits the serious subject matter about women navigating the dangers of the drug trade. Break It also works well, with her upbeat flow matching the danceable production. Still, too many missteps hold the project back, from the wasted opportunity of the instrumental-only Gankers to a surprising lack of Sonya C on her own album, with Master P even stealing focus on one of the key tracks. Overall, Married to the Mob has flashes of potential, but ultimately feels underdeveloped and directionless, leaving the listener wondering what Sonya C could have delivered with more focus and confidence.
I'm deep up in the game, I can't sleep at night. And mama playing because she know her boy ain't living right.
The Ghettos Trying to Kill Me marks another strong step forward for Master P, showing his continued growth as a storyteller and performer. The album blends smooth, soulful production with gritty street narratives that capture the daily struggles of surviving in hostile environments. Master P experiments with multiple flows and tones throughout, creating a dynamic listening experience that reflects both his ambition and his realism. Lyrically, he focuses on the constant tension of life in the ghetto, dodging crooked cops, rival hustlers, and betrayal, all while trying to rise above his circumstances. Tracks like Anything Goes and the title track stand out as emotional highlights, where P's vivid imagery and heartfelt delivery bring the themes of paranoia and perseverance to life. However, the project isn't flawless. Several tracks suffer from poor mixing, particularly Just an Everyday Thing, where low-quality vocals undermine the production. A few weaker features and less inspired beats also hold it back slightly. Still, despite its rough edges, The Ghettos Tryin' to Kill Me is a compelling and important album in Master P's evolution, balancing introspection, grit, and ambition as he refines the sound that would soon define No Limit Records.
Hit that slang cola cause I didn't have no dividends. My baby mama stressing she don't want me to slang dope.
West Coast Bad Boys Volume 1 serves as an important milestone for Master P as he brings together various Bay Area rappers under one umbrella to showcase unity and regional pride. The intro, narrated by Herm, sets a positive tone by praising Master P's leadership and delivering uplifting messages to the youth. Musically, the project embraces a classic West Coast G-Funk sound, complete with smooth bass lines, synth-heavy grooves, and street-oriented lyrics that reflect the everyday realities of Oakland life. The concept behind the album is strong, uniting voices from the community to highlight their stories, but the overall execution feels uneven, with standout moments scattered among a sea of average tracks. The clear highlight is Heading for the Jack, where Master P and C-Bo deliver sharp verses over a hard-hitting instrumental, showcasing genuine chemistry and polished performances. Beyond that, the compilation offers a mix of decent and forgettable songs. Some artists lack the charisma or energy to make their contributions memorable, and certain beats don't carry the same punch as the stronger cuts. Despite its inconsistency, Another Level of the Game remains a solid early No Limit compilation that captures the raw essence of Bay Area street rap while setting the stage for Master P's broader vision of collaboration and independence.
Peeping into the mirror, yeah, man, I see me, a young G, who's ready to make that move into manhood.
Lil Ric's Deep in the Game is a captivating Bay Area rap album built around vivid storytelling, smooth flows, and atmospheric production. Ric's greatest strength lies in his ability to switch up his delivery while pulling listeners deep into his world of hustling, loyalty, and survival. Tracks like The Life I Lead and the title song Deep in the Game paint cinematic pictures of his upbringing and daily grind in the streets, showing both the thrill and the tragedy of that life. His storytelling feels authentic and reflective, making every verse feel like a lived experience rather than just another gangsta rap narrative. The production complements Ric's energy perfectly, mixing sinister tones with smooth trance-like G-Funk beats. Songs such as Peace to Dem Bustas stand out with their soulful samples and hypnotic grooves, while features like Master P add just the right touch of bounce and contrast. Although some tracks suffer from mixing issues, like vocals being drowned out or over-amplified, these minor flaws don't overshadow the album's impact. Overall, Deep in the Game is an impressive project that blends heartfelt storytelling with top-tier West Coast production, proving Lil Ric's ability to both rap and craft deeply immersive songs.
I was high as a kite, late night, Christmas Eve, would you believe? Some niggas came to
West Coast Bad Boys High for Christmas is a project that has strong potential, but ultimately falls short in execution. As No Limit's Christmas-themed album, it brings an intriguing concept to the table, infusing holiday spirit into the gritty realities of street life. The production is easily the standout feature, with producers cleverly blending recognizable Christmas jingles into West Coast gangster beats. Lyrically, the artists touch on how the struggles of the dope game persist, even during the holidays, using the Christmas spirit as a form of temporary relief or hope. Tracks like the intro High for Christmas, featuring Master P and Silkk the Shocker, manage to strike a nice balance between festive energy and street realism, showing flashes of what the album could have been. However, the rest of the project struggles to maintain that balance. Many songs either fail to capture the Christmas theme or simply recycle older No Limit material, like No Limit Party from the Ghettos Tryin' to Kill Me. While a few tracks such as Chillin' in the Game are decent on their own, they lack the holiday connection that would make the project cohesive. The performances from the No Limit roster also feel uneven, with several artists delivering underwhelming verses. In the end, High for Xmas feels like a missed opportunity, a creative idea that suffers from poor execution and inconsistency, leaving listeners wishing for a more inspired take on a gangsta Christmas album.
Now everybody wants to be an MC. Father Dom was in line when he told it to me.
Dangerous Dame, Escape from the Mental Ward, is a surprisingly powerful project that exceeded expectations in nearly every way. Although it starts on a rough note with Live Every Day, which suffers from low quality production and weak mixing, the album quickly recovers and blossoms into something special. Once past the opener, Dangerous Dame delivers a series of well-produced, thought-provoking tracks filled with heart, positivity, and purpose. The production shifts from cheap and hollow to warm, soulful, and dynamic, perfectly complementing Dame's improved performances and sharp storytelling. A standout example is I'm Your Brother, where he urges black men to love and respect one another despite the hardships of inner city life. Even the flawed opening track carries a strong message, encouraging listeners to live life fully, care for loved ones, and chase dreams before it's too late. As the album unfolds, Dangerous Dame continues to impress with both his artistry and his uplifting vision. Be There is a highlight that blends smooth, joyful production with a heartfelt message about loyalty and relationships, elevated by a stunning guest vocal that recalls the soulful tone of Johnny Gill. The features across the album add great variety, with Master P delivering a strong performance on the smooth gangster track Street Stars, and the collective message of Deaf, Dumb, and Blind standing out as one of the most profound moments. That song captures Dangerous Dame's awareness of societal oppression and the fight for self-liberation, supported by dark, brooding production and passionate guest verses. In the end, Escape from the Mental Ward is an incredible uplifting project that pairs sharp lyricism with powerful social commentary and soulful soundscapes, a true hidden gem that shows Dangerous Dame's talent and heart.
Car full of weed, didn't see him creep up, hit him in the jaw, took his phone in his beeper, left him on the...
Master P 99 Ways to Die is a fascinating project that blurs the line between an EP and an LP. It feels complete in structure and concept, but carries the brevity and looseness of an extended play, which Master P himself acknowledges on 1900 Master P. The project's overall tone is darker and more introspective than his previous work, centering on survival and paranoia in the streets. Here, Master P reflects on how constant violence and betrayal shape his mentality, forcing him to adopt a kill-or-be-killed mindset. Songs like 17 Reasons and Bullets Got No Name capture that energy perfectly, with the latter standing out as one of the strongest tracks on the project. Its laid-back gangster groove and infectious melody create a great contrast to the deadly subject matter, and EA Ski's aggressive feature complements Master P's commanding delivery. When They Gone offers a different perspective, serving as a heartfelt tribute to fallen friends and family. Its somber production, resembling the sound of a funeral march, beautifully reinforces the song's theme of appreciating loved ones before they're gone. While the album shines conceptually and sonically, it does have a few weak spots. Whole Game suffers from rough production and low-quality mixing, while 1900 Master P features one of the most awkward hooks in his early catalog, thanks to King George's grating vocals. Despite these flaws, the project's highlights far outweigh its missteps. Master P continues to evolve as a rapper, showing more personality and experimentation with his flow. Dead Presidents in particular showcases his unorthodox delivery, offbeat but full of charisma and confidence, which makes it oddly compelling rather than distracting. Overall, 99 Ways to Die stands as one of Master P's most creative and conceptually focused early works, balancing grit, reflection, and street wisdom over consistently strong production.
Yeah. I could never turn my back, nigga. Never.
TRU, True, is a mixed but meaningful step in No Limit's evolution. On the group's third album, Master P, Silkk the Shocker, and C Murder continue to build on their foundation of street realism and family unity, but the results vary in quality. The production is uneven. Some beats sound dated or simplistic, while others are absolutely incredible, and showcase the early No Limit sound at its best. The performances follow a similar pattern, with flashes of brilliance balanced by moments of mediocrity. Conceptually, True doesn't stray far from TRU's earlier projects, focusing on the struggles of ghetto survival and the lengths they'll go to provide for their families. However, what makes this album stand out is the introduction of key No Limit artists who would later become household names. Mia X and Mr. Serv-On make strong early appearances, each bringing distinct flows and raw energy that prove they were destined to shine on the label. Master P continues to refine his animated charismatic delivery, while Silkk the Shocker's unorthodox style remains unpredictable yet effective. The album's best moments showcase TRU's chemistry and the emerging No Limit sound. The standout track I'm Bout It is an instant classic. Master P's commanding presence and energy drive the song, while Mia X delivers a confident verse that fits perfectly over the dark, addictive beat. F Them H's is another major highlight, blending smooth production with sharp, memorable verses from Master P and Silkk. Even though Mia X's melodic outro doesn't land as strongly, the track as a whole captures TRU's balance of aggression and swagger. Elsewhere, True Players delivers a laid-back, hypnotic vibe that highlights Mr. Serv Serv-On's potential. While the album features several enjoyable tracks, others feel more like filler or experimental exercises as TRU searched for a consistent sound. Overall, True is a solid but transitional project. It shows flashes of greatness and the early chemistry that would later define No Limit's golden era, even if the group hadn't fully locked into their signature identity yet.
Well, live and direct, break your neck to get a peep of a true and living goddamn fool.
Down South Hustlers, Bouncin and Swingin is one of the most uneven projects in the No Limit catalog, packed with hidden gems, rough experiments, and a few of the label's worst moments. The compilation serves as both an introduction and a transition, bringing in new southern voices while expanding No Limit's regional reach. The most exciting aspect of this project is the debut of two soon-to-be key figures in the camp, Soulja Slim and Duggery. Both artists make strong first impressions. Duggery shines on Dark Side with his grim, commanding delivery, while Soulja Slim's passionate flow and authentic New Orleans drawl on You Got It immediately stand out, even if the song itself loses steam in its second half. Silkk the Shocker continues to prove that his offbeat, unorthodox flow was ahead of its time, especially on Players from the South and Bounce That A. Master P maintains his charismatic animated energy, working well as both a frontman and hype man. Mr. Serv-On delivers one of the project's most complete moments with Handle Your Business, combining gritty realism with heartfelt storytelling. Meanwhile, Mia X's performance on Can't Trust No Man is underwhelming but still fits the project's tone. Outside the No Limit core, Down South Hustlers also features contributions from southern artists who bring refreshing diversity to the compilation. Tracks like A Lot of Nothing by Chico and 187 and My Woman by Coop MC show just how much southern hip-hop had to offer beyond the No Limit camp. DJ Screw's Mind Went Blank remix adds even more flavor, giving the project one of its most iconic and atmospheric moments. However, for every standout track, there's a misfire that brings the compilation down. Down South Thugs by Polo is grating, with loud simplistic rapping and an amateurish hook. Murder Weapon by Hounds of Gerttown might be one of the worst No Limit affiliated songs ever released. The delivery is awkward, the production is poorly executed, and the overused whistle effect makes it unbearable. The overall result is a compilation full of extremes. When it works, it's a fascinating showcase of southern creativity. When it doesn't, it highlights No Limit's growing pains. In conclusion, Down South Hustlers is a flawed but historically important project that captures the label's evolution, introducing new stars, exploring new sounds, and reminding listeners that even No Limit's misses played a part in shaping its legacy. On her debut album Good Girl Gone Bad, Mia X delivers an impressive display of versatility, switching between rapping and singing with ease. Her ability to blend aggression, soul, and vulnerability makes this project stand out among early No Limit releases. The album shines brightest through its strong concepts and storytelling. Mia X immerses listeners into her world with vivid lyricism, balancing themes of struggle, empowerment, and resilience. Tracks like Ghetto Sarah Lee set the tone perfectly. The production is smooth yet hard-hitting, and the Conscious Daughter's assertive guest verses complement Mia X's confidence. Songs like My Everything and R.I.P. Jill show her at her most heartfelt. On My Everything, she reflects on motherhood with depth and sincerity, while R.I.P. Jill stands as a touching tribute to a lost friend, balancing grief with hope and remembrance. While Good Girl Gone Bad has plenty of highlights, it's not without flaws. Some tracks fall flat due to dull production and underwhelming performances, such as Can't Trust a Man and the title track Good Girl Gone Bad. These moments lack the passion and creativity present elsewhere on the album. Still, the project as a whole succeeds in establishing Mia X as a multifaceted artist capable of introspection, storytelling, and raw emotion. Her debut captures both her strength and her humanity, and even with its inconsistencies, Good Girl Gone Bad remains a strong and memorable introduction to one of No Limit's most important voices.
6:30 in the morning, gunshots got me jumping. Niggas hanging out the windows with their gas.
Trey 8's Ghetto Stories is a strong debut that showcases his versatility, charisma, and sharp storytelling ability. The first half of the album stands out as some of the best material in early No Limit history, with Trey 8's animated delivery and multiple flow switches bringing his personality to life. The production complements his energy perfectly, heavily influenced by G-Funk, yet layered with creative sounds, eerie samples, and southern bounce. Conceptually, the album centers around the struggles of growing up in low-income neighborhoods while balancing street survival and ambition. Songs like Bang to the Boogie and I Run This highlight Trey 8's ability to adapt to unconventional beats. while Lay Me Down to Sleep showcases his storytelling mastery as he raps from the perspective of someone on the verge of death after being shot, giving listeners a haunting glimpse into street reality. While the first half shines, the second half of Ghetto Stories noticeably dips in quality, the production becomes less engaging, and Trey 8's performances lose some of the spark that made the opening track so strong. Still, there are gems scattered throughout. What That South Like featuring Mia X is a standout, with both artists delivering fiery, aggressive verses over a dark instrumental, while the title track Ghetto Stories is a heartfelt reflection on urban hardship, with Master P adding powerful background vocals that deepen the emotion. Even with its uneven pacing, Ghetto Stories remains an impressive debut that captures Trey 8's potential as both a skilled lyricist and an expressive storyteller. It's a flawed yet memorable project that proves Trey 8 was a unique voice in the early No Limit roster.
Mr. Ice Cream Man, Mr. Ice Cream Man.
Ice Cream Man stands as one of Master P's most defining and versatile albums, blending street grit, emotional depth, and southern swagger into a project that cemented his presence in hip-hop. Right from the intro skit, the dark cinematic production sets the tone, with P establishing his confidence as an independent boss and visionary. That energy explodes on the title track Mr. Ice Cream Man, one of his signature songs. The smooth, addictive beat combined with Mia X and Moby Dick's soulful vocals perfectly balance P's animated and charismatic delivery. The Ice Cream Man persona works brilliantly on two levels, both as a drug dealer and a rapper selling addictive music, showcasing P's knack for storytelling and branding. Songs like Time for a 187 and Half on a Bag of Dank highlight his gift for turning simple street tales into entertaining, catchy tracks, driven by his natural charisma. Break 'Em Off Something with UGK remains a southern classic. The chemistry between P's energetic delivery and the smooth, confident flows of Pimp C and Bun B makes it one of the album's biggest highlights. The emotional depth peaks with No More Tears, a heartfelt dedication to P's late mother, where his pain and vulnerability shine through Moby Dick's angelic hook. While Ice Cream Man delivers plenty of standout moments, it's not without filler. Tracks like The Ghetto Won't Change and Player from Around the Way have strong ideas, but lack the musical spark found elsewhere. However, P quickly bounces back with the menacing Time to Check My Crack House and the iconic Bout It 2, both explosive showcases of his raw energy and unique delivery. The second half continues with memorable collaborations. Watch These H's features an excellent performance from Trey 8, and Bout That Drama gives Silkk the Shocker space to shine. Even eccentric cuts like Killer P grow more intriguing with repeated listens due to their eerie production and twisted creativity. The album closes on a reflective note with My Ghetto Heroes, a moving track where P acknowledges how his real-life inspirations came from hustlers rather than traditional role models, aided by Duggery's gritty verse. Overall, Ice Cream Man is a cornerstone in Master P's catalog, a bold, unfiltered showcase of his personality, hustle, and vision. Despite a few weaker tracks, its highs are undeniable, capturing the essence of what made No Limit's rise so powerful and authentic.
Bitch, I'm a killer for real, X no joke. Slide niggas so fast or slow. I got to pop it and stop 'em 'cause
on Silkk the Shocker's debut album, The Shocker, he immediately stands out for his unorthodox, unpredictable flow. His style is both intriguing and confusing in the best way possible. He raps like he's on the edge of the beat, switching between calm and aggressive tones with no warning. This unpredictable delivery gives the album its charm, but also its flaws. At times, Silkk's verses sound rough and amateurish, but that rawness is exactly what makes him so unique. His flow feels unsure and confident at the same time, a strange balance that somehow works in his favor. A perfect example is Mr., where he raps with a loose conversational rhythm that shouldn't work but does. Another standout is Ghetto Tears, where he delivers verses almost under his breath, adding to the eerie and introspective tone. Then there's the title track, The Shocker, a major highlight where his aggressive, stuttering delivery perfectly matches the dark, sinister production. These moments show Silkk's ability to turn awkwardness into artistry, creating a sound that's completely his own. The production across The Shocker is consistently strong, full of catchy, gritty southern beats that give Silkk plenty of room to experiment. If My Nine Could Talk is one of the best examples, the haunting instrumental pairs beautifully with his erratic flow and violent storytelling. The features also bring great balance to the album. Master P appears frequently, but mostly in a supportive hype man role that boosts Silkk's energy without overshadowing him, though on the opener, Murder, P takes over a bit too much. The No Limit family shows up throughout, and their chemistry feels natural, adding personality to the record. The R&B contributions are also impressive. Moby Dick and Pure Passion shine on My Car, delivering smooth melodic vocals over one of the album's best beats, while Silkk complements them with his offbeat but oddly fitting delivery. Overall, The Shocker is a fascinating debut. It's not flawless, but it captures the essence of Silkk the Shocker's originality. A rapper unafraid to sound different, turning unconventional flows and strange rhythms into something memorable. It's chaotic, creative, and full of personality, making it one of the most distinctive early No Limit releases.
It be so real, niggas don't know the deal, niggas be run. That's why I'm straight top gun.
On Hoodlum for Life, Duggery immediately separates himself from the rest of No Limit's roster with a voice and style that sound completely unhinged in the best way possible. His raspy tone and raw aggression give every verse a dark, dangerous edge, and he leans into that persona with confidence. What's fascinating is how versatile his voice actually is. Even when paired with lighthearted or melodic production, his sinister energy still works. His name fits perfectly. Most of this album revolves around the violence, betrayal, and survival tactics that define life in rough neighborhoods. However, that same thematic consistency can also work against him. After a while, the repetition of street-heavy topics over average production makes some tracks blend together. Still, Duggery's delivery keeps the album engaging. His deranged yet passionate performances are what make Hoodlum for Life stand out. What gives this project more depth is when Duggery steps away from pure gangster tales and shows his vulnerability. Tracks like Mama Why hit hard emotionally as he vents the pain of feeling neglected by his mother while growing up. My Shorty, dedicated to his newborn daughter, is another standout, pairing warm melodic production with his gritty voice in a surprisingly heartfelt way. These moments show that even within his dark, aggressive tone, Duggery can express reflection and growth. Other highlights include Crooked Ass Cops, a high-energy anthem with cinematic production where he attacks police corruption, and Bro and Pen, which might be the most powerful track on the album. On it, Duggery reflects on the systemic incarceration of black men, blending passionate rapping with subtle harmonizing to create one of his most layered performances. Overall, Hoodlum for Life is a strong debut that captures Duggery's raw emotion and distinctive presence. While not every track hits hard, his voice, intensity, and perspective make him one of the most compelling figures in early No Limit history. Kane and Abel's The Seven Sins is one of the strongest and most complete albums in No Limit's early catalog. The twins' chemistry is undeniable. Their similar voices, synchronized flows, and mirrored delivery create a sense of unity that few rap duos can match. What makes their performance so impressive is that they never waste a single instrumental. Whether the production is dark and atmospheric or smooth and soulful, Kane and Abel adapt effortlessly, delivering compelling lyrics and emotion-packed verses. This Is the Life perfectly showcases this balance, with its haunting sample-heavy beat and the twins' aggressive yet focused energy. On the opposite end, Gangstafied sets the tone beautifully with its laid-back production and Moby Dick's angelic, soulful vocals. He truly elevates the track. His smooth singing complements Kane and Abel's confident verses about hustling with purpose and maintaining strength through struggle. The album's sound palette is rich, varied, and layered, proving that No Limit was capable of more than just hardcore gangsta anthems when the chemistry between artists and producers clicked. Lyrically, The Seven Sins goes beyond street narratives, diving into deeper emotional territory. Black Jesus stands as one of the most haunting and heartfelt songs in the No Limit catalog, as Kane and Abel grapple with despair and hopelessness, searching for meaning amid pain. Master P and Silkk the Shocker also deliver striking performances here, matching the track's mournful tone. Abortion continues that emotional weight as the twins wrestle with guilt and regret over their mother's disappointment in their choices. These moments of vulnerability make the album much more dynamic and personal. Then there's God and Guns, which breaks from No Limit's usual southern sound with its boom bap style production. Kane, Abel, and Mac all slide effortlessly over the New York-inspired beat, displaying sharp lyricism and versatility. The only real misstep comes with Basement Session, a track that disrupts the album's cohesion. It's not a bad song, but its absence of Kane and Abel verses and its completely different vibe throw off the project's otherwise flawless pacing. Despite that, The Seven Sins remains an incredible record from top to bottom, emotionally powerful, musically diverse, and performed with passion. At this point in the No Limit journey, it easily stands as the label's most complete and well-executed album yet.
I thought it was over, but this only the beginning. Thug niggas don't die, one born every minute, two.
West Coast Bad Boys 2 is easily the strongest compilation from Master P and the No Limit camp up to this point. The album flows seamlessly, and the respect West Coast artists show to Master P adds a personal touch that enhances the project's cohesion. The opening track pays homage to Tupac with a unique instrumental that samples Ambitious as a writer, while Master P delivers energetic, intricate flows, immediately setting the tone. From there, a variety of West Coast rappers take center stage, each bringing distinct styles. Brother Lynch Hung stands out with his sinister performance on That's What I Said, while Mac Dre's animated delivery on What Like is captivating. Other highlights include Rappin' Forte on Ups and Downs, whose effortless flow rides the upbeat G-Funk beat, and Selski on Rolling on Vogues, which has smooth production perfect for cruising. The compilation also doesn't shy away from darker, aggressive themes. Homicide's portrayal of his alter ego Mr. Dayton brings an intense, chaotic energy to the track Mr. Dayton, while Mr. Serv-On shines on Dead Man, rapping with morbidly vivid imagery that underscores the sinister concepts of the album. Master P's hype man presence on this track elevates the performance without overpowering it. Southern No Limit artists make strong appearances too, contributing to the album's variety and depth. While a few tracks didn't grab me sonically, the overall quality and range of performances make this compilation highly engaging. With standout flows, unique styles, and strong production throughout, West Coast Bad Boys 2 solidifies itself as the best compilation in No Limit's catalog to date.
We No Limit soldiers, Big Poet, we No Limit soldiers, Mr. Serv-On.
True to the Game opens strong with a memorable intro, pairing a sinister instrumental with gunshots, and Master P's playful yet instructive exchange with Lil Romeo. The album immediately sets a tone of street awareness and family values, a combination that sticks throughout. Early tracks like No Limit Soldiers showcase TRU's dynamic energy, Master P's animated freestyle flow, Silkk's unorthodox menace, and Mia X's razor-sharp delivery. While C Murder stumbles at times with weaker verses, the production keeps things compelling. Suspenseful narrative-driven tracks like I Always Feel Like and Feds highlight TRU's storytelling skills, blending paranoia-inspired beats, and eerie hooks from Moby Dick. Mia X consistently elevates the material, delivering some of the most memorable performances on the album. The back half of the project continues the highs and lows. Standout tracks like Swap Agin and Once Upon a Time feature infectious energy, clever storytelling, and tight flow switches, while songs such as True to the Game suffer from weak chemistry among the trio. C Murder redeems himself later on, particularly on Torture Chamber and True Questions, delivering darker, more confident performances. Silkk's unorthodox flow remains both a strength and occasional distraction, but his aggressive energy shines on key tracks. TRU's combination of sinister, moody production, storytelling prowess, and the undeniable MVP performances from Mia X make True to the Game an ambitious, flawed, but essential No Limit album, one that balances street grit with moments of brilliance, and showcases the early promise of TRU as a group.
Fools don't know what they fucking with, surrounded by professional killers with a sick click the mob moves.
Premeditated Drama immediately establishes Steady Mobb'n as a dynamic duo. Bavgate's raspy delivery and Crooked Eye's sinister flow complement each other perfectly, creating chemistry that drives the album. The production is cinematic and hard-hitting, with unique melodies and layered samples. Highlights like Strong Heart and Animosity showcase their raw street realism and dual flows, while posse cuts like West to South prove they can hold their own alongside Master P, Kane and Abel, Silkk, Mac, and C Murder. Tracks such as Blood Money and Lil Ends stand out for their storytelling and layered production, blending gangster perspectives with reflective cinematic elements. What makes this album exceptional is its consistency and balance. Every feature, from Mia X, Big Ed, Master P, to Mr. Serv-On, adds value without overshadowing Steady Mobb'n, and even the skits like Kidnap Call add personality rather than filler. The album seamlessly mixes hard-hitting street anthems with introspective storytelling, making it a cohesive, no-skip project. With its chemistry, cinematic production, and engaging performances, Premeditated Drama isn't just a standout for Steady Mobb'n, it's one of the strongest early releases in the No Limit catalog.
Fast living got me trapped in this street gang. Before I die, I hope I have a chance to make a change.
The Bout It soundtrack opens with energy and confidence, immediately establishing No Limit's dominance. Master P's intro sets the tone with his animated hype, transitioning seamlessly into Meal Ticket, featuring Master P, 8Ball and MJG, and UGK, a perfect sinister anthem about hustling for survival. Horrorcore brilliance comes next, with Brother Lynch Hung's Situation on Dirty, while Mystikal keeps the momentum high on Whatcha Thing with his wild, intricate flow. Bay Area legends E40 and Be Legit It brings smooth laid-back energy on Come On, and the iconic How You Do That delivers hype, memorable hooks, and flawless chemistry between Master P, Young Bleed, and Silkk. Fiend's raspy, deranged delivery on Don't Mess Around, and heartfelt introspection on If I Could Change, with steady Mobb'n, further showcase the label's versatility. The second half of the soundtrack is more uneven. Tracks like Silkk the Shocker's Down and Dirty and Duggery's Heat feel forgettable, while Mia X redeems the project with much love, bouncing rap and smooth singing. Other highlights include Mac's emotional Lockdown, Mr. Serv-On's Grim Before I Die, and Sons of Funk's R&B standout, Pushing Inside You. Unfortunately, generic tracks like Cops Running After You and Why They Wanna See Me Dead slow the momentum and feel uninspired. Still, the highs of the first half, stellar performances, unique flows, and cinematic sinister production cement I'm Bout It as a classic No Limit release, capturing the raw energy, talent, and dominance of the label at its peak.
I got the ghetto grooves, guaranteed to make your shoes move to the dance floor. What you came for? Acting like
Mia X's Unlady Like is a sophomore album that showcases her versatility while also highlighting the growing pains of No Limit's signature sound. The project leans heavily on features, often creating a disjointed, sampler-like feel, but Mia consistently stands out when she's in the spotlight. Tracks like I Pity You and Who Got the Clout allow her aggressive delivery and metaphor-rich bars to shine, and her chemistry with Mystikal provides some of the album's best moments. Conversely, posse cuts like You Don't Want to Go to War and The Party Don't Stop suffer from mismatched energy and weak collaborations, leaving her as the only compelling presence. Production is uneven, beats by the pound deliver eerie southern flair on highlights, but many songs suffer from muddy mixing, overused echo effects, and uninspired compositions. Despite the inconsistencies, Unlady Like contains standout tracks that reveal Mia X's depth as an artist. I'll Take Your Man 97 is an energetic homage to Salt and Pepper, while Hoodlum Poetry creatively adopts the voice of crack cocaine to deliver a chilling social commentary. Rainy Days You and Me and R.I.P. Jill provide reflective, vulnerable moments that contrast sharply with the flashier cuts, demonstrating Mia's ability to convey emotional and lyrical depth. While guest features vary in quality, Mystikal elevates the energy, but others like Master P and Mr. Serv-On often feel forgettable. The album ultimately proves Mia X's talent and potential. Flawed and uneven, Unlady Like remains compelling, with enough brilliance to cement her status as a pivotal voice in Southern rap. Mr. Serv-On's debut, Life Insurance, is a mixed effort that alternates between flashes of brilliance and long stretches of mediocrity. The album starts strong with tracks like Let's Get It Started, a posse cut featuring Master P, Mia X, and Silkk the Shocker, where his energy and the chemistry among No Limit artists make it a standout. Personal tracks like My Best Friend and collaborations such as It's Real with Brother Lynch Hung demonstrate his potential for emotional depth and adaptability. Other highlights, including Hustlin' We Ain't the Same and Last Words, show that when the production and features align, Mr. Serv-On can deliver compelling performances. However, the album struggles with consistency. At 18 tracks, it feels bloated, with many songs falling into repetitive patterns and uninspired choruses. Mr. Serv-On's delivery can come across flat, particularly on tracks like Who Raised Me and Die Rich, and the over-reliance on features, especially Master P, diminishes his individual presence. Instrumentally, the project swings between strong soulful or suspenseful beats and weaker underdeveloped tracks. While songs like Affiliated hint at his potential as a solo artist, the album ultimately works best in short bursts or collaborative tracks. Life Insurance offers moments of excitement and lyrical creativity, but inconsistency and filler prevent it from fully showcasing Mr. Serv-On's talent. Ghetto D is a sprawling, ambitious No Limit album that blends gritty street narratives, emotional reflections, and high-energy Southern anthems. Its conceptual creativity stands out, with tracks like the title song framing drug dealing as a metaphor for distributing music, while songs like I Miss My Homies deliver heartfelt tributes supported by soulful instrumentation and standout guest verses from Pimp C and Silkk the Shocker. Posse cuts such as Make 'Em Say and Captain Kirk showcased the chemistry of the No Limit roster, merging diverse flows into iconic, energetic tracks. The production throughout captures the late 90s Southern sound, with booming bass lines, eerie melodies, and smooth samples that balance street grit with musicality. However, the album is uneven. Master P's signature hype flow can feel repetitive and underdeveloped on songs like Gangsta's Need Love and Only Time Will Tell. While featured artists vary in quality, some elevate the tracks, others drag them down. Certain songs are weighed down by overbearing production, Eyes on Your Enemies, or flat concepts, Plan B, and the 19-track length leads to a bloated midsection with filler that interrupts the album's momentum. Despite these flaws, Ghetto D remains a landmark Southern rap release full of iconic hooks, cultural significance, and a clear window into Master P's street-smart entrepreneurial mindset.
The man right here, the man right here, the man right here, the man right here.
Unpredictable showcases Mystikal's wild, unorthodox style, high-energy delivery, and emotional intensity, but it struggles with consistency across its runtime. The album opens strong with tracks like Born to Be a Soldier and the deeply emotional Murder 2, where Mystikal channels raw vulnerability while reflecting on the loss of his sister. His animated, almost frenetic flow drives standout tracks like Unpredictable, Ain't No Limit, and Ghetto Child, and the experimental, catchy production complements his eccentric persona perfectly. Collaborations with No Limit label mates and West Coast legends such as E40 and Snoop Dogg provide variety, though not every feature leaves a lasting impression. However, Mystikal's signature yelling and over-the-top delivery become tiresome on songs like 13 Years Did I Do It and You Can't Handle This, making some tracks feel one-dimensional. The album also suffers from repetitiveness and uneven songwriting, leaving moments of brilliance interspersed with weaker cuts. Despite these flaws, the closer Shine mirrors Murder 2 in emotional depth, offering a heartfelt tribute to his sister and highlighting Mystikal's potential for introspection. Overall, Unpredictable is an energetic, distinctive project that captures Mystikal's unique talent, even if the execution occasionally falls short of his promise.
Who that? Yeah, they wanna do that. Run up if you will and get your ass whipped blue black. My nigga, my nerve.
My Balls and My Word is a strong Southern hip-hop debut that combines Mafia-inspired storytelling with gritty street realism, anchored by Young Bleed's unique, nonchalant delivery. While the album starts unevenly with tracks like Keep It Real and Bring the Noise, Bleed's voice and style begin to shine through. Momentum picks up with cinematic standouts like An Offer You Can't Refuse and The Day They Make Me Boss, where suspenseful instrumentals and varied flows showcase his versatility. Tracks like Mo Money, Time So Hard, and How You Do That highlight catchy hooks, infectious production, and strong verses, with Time So Hard standing out for its soulful, introspective delivery. Some tracks, including Pull It Off and Lil Papa Got a Brand New Bag, stumble due to muddled mixes or distracting production. But the album closes powerfully with Ghostwriter and We Don't Stop, emphasizing personal struggle, triumph, and resilience. Overall, My Balls and My Word is a memorable debut that demonstrates Young Bleed's distinct voice and lyrical prowess. Despite a few missteps, its strong storytelling, cohesive themes, and standout production cemented as a classic in the No Limit catalog.
We can't stop now, bitch. We can't stop.
Ain't my fault. I told you wasn't no motherfucking name.
Charge It to the Game is a disappointing sophomore effort from Silkk the Shocker, as most of his performances lack the energy and charm of his debut. His usually unorthodox style comes across as unappealing here, with a mellowed out flow that makes many songs feel flat and low energy. Even when attempting hype, his signature stammering delivery falls short, and the production often feels generic and uninspired. On the positive side, Silkk delivers strong concepts with a consistent Mafia-inspired theme, focusing on loyalty, family, and the made man mentality. Tracks like If I Don't Gotta showcase his ability to tackle dark, introspective themes with passion, as the slow, depressing instrumental complements his reflective lyrics about street life and mortality. One of the few high points on the album is Silkk's collaboration with Mystikal. Their complementary styles and shared hype energy elevate tracks like It Ain't My Fault and Let Me Hit It, making their chemistry feel almost duo-worthy. Another notable moment is How Many, where Master P, C Murder, Mystikal, Silkk, and Mia X provide standout performances, though Silkk himself doesn't wow, as he did on his debut. Overall, while Charge It to the Game has flashes of brilliance, particularly in collaborations and certain concept-driven tracks, the album is largely underwhelming, weighed down by lackluster production and uninteresting performances.
Where I live across the street from a killer, round the corner from a murderer, next door to a nigga that never...
C Murder's Life or Death is a gritty and emotionally charged debut that stands out as one of No Limit's most cohesive releases. Across 26 tracks, C Murder presents a vivid portrayal of street life, loyalty, and survival, blending Tupac-inspired delivery with raw reflective lyricism. The album opens strong with A Second Chance, featuring Master P and Silkk the Shocker, setting a haunting and introspective tone. Highlights like a kick dough with UGK, and Constantly in Danger with Mia X showcase his ability to balance street intensity with storytelling, while tracks like Picture Me, Only the Strong Survive, and Dreams provide emotional depth, imagining hope amidst harsh realities. Instrumentals range from sinister and moody, Life or Death Where I'm From, to cinematic and energetic, On the Run Riders, complementing C Murder's passionate delivery. Guest features are well utilized throughout, with Soulja Slim leaving a strong impression on tracks like On the Run and Ghetto Ties, and Master P enhancing the energy on harder hitting cuts. While a few tracks toward the end, Survival of the Fittest, Making Moves, feel weaker, the album maintains thematic focus and high energy, culminating in a compelling close with Watch Your Enemies, Duck and Run, and Dreams. Overall, Life or Death is a raw, focused, and emotionally resonant journey that solidifies C Murder's place in the No Limit roster and Southern rap canon. The I Got the Hookup soundtrack is a sprawling 21-track compilation that perfectly captures the chaotic, charismatic energy of late 90s hip-hop, especially through the lens of No Limit Records. Featuring Southern heavyweights like Master P, C Murder, and UGK alongside West Coast legends Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and Mac 10, the project blends high-energy rap anthems with smooth R&B cuts. Standouts like Ice Cube's Ghetto Vet and C Murder's Would You Hesitate showcase masterful storytelling and raw emotion, while tracks like Bump and Grill and What You Need deliver infectious Southern bounce. R&B moments like I Don't Want to Going Down With You add diversity and demonstrate the melodic side of the label. Not every track lands. Silkk the Shocker's verses and some production choices, Who Rock This, fall flat, but even these moments contribute to the soundtrack's unpredictable energy and personality. Overall, I Got the Hookup is more than a movie tie-in. It's a snapshot of a pivotal era in hip-hop, highlighting No Limit's dominance, regional collaboration, and the power of soundtracks as standalone musical projects. Despite its inconsistencies, the soundtrack delivers enough bangers, storytelling, and stylistic range to remain a memorable entry in 90s hip-hop.
It's gonna be good.
Sons of Funk deliver a smooth, sensual, and impressively consistent R&B experience with the game of funk. The album blends soulful vocals, 70s funk influences, and late 90s slow jam vibes, creating a lush atmospheric sound from start to finish. Tracks like You and Me, Y'all I Want, and The First Time highlight their ability to craft baby-making music with rich harmonies and seductive production, while collaborations on songs like Make Love to a Thug and I Got the Hookup successfully merge R&B smoothness with No Limit's signature street energy. Even on reflective cuts like Time Will Tell, Sons of Funk maintain strong vocal performances and compelling production. Throughout the album, their vocals remain consistent, balancing sensuality, harmony, and emotional depth, with clever use of samples like Earth, Wind & Fire's Reasons and Dennis Edwards' Don't Look Any Further. The Game of Funk is a polished, underrated gem that showcases Sons of Funk's versatility, effortlessly blending streetwise swagger with bedroom-ready soul, and solidifying their place as one of No Limit's standout R&B acts.
Every time I open my eyes, I thank God for waking this soldier, cause in this cruel world, it's hard to...
Fiend's There's One in Every Family is a gritty, emotionally raw showcase of his raspy, unique style. The album opens strong with Take My Pain, pairing heartfelt verses and a standout Sons of Funk chorus with hopeful layered production. Fiend consistently balances street realism, introspection, and motivational themes, with tracks like The Streets Ain't Safe and Live Me Long exploring the dangers of the streets and spiritual struggle. High-energy collaborations, such as Do You Know?, featuring Mystikal and Who Got the Fire, show his ability to hold his own alongside No Limit heavyweights like Master P and Snoop Dogg. Production across the album leans ominous, smooth, or melancholy, perfectly complementing Fiend's delivery, while features from Mia X, C Murder, Soulja Slim, and UGK enhance key tracks. The back half of the album dips slightly, with songs like Walk Like a G and We Survivors feeling repetitive or underwhelming. Still, Fiend's emotionally rugged performances and introspective lyricism carry the project, making There's One in Every Family one of No Limit's more compelling albums.
This for the carjackers, kidnappers, murder chuckers, murderers, lawbreakers, money takers, that beyond the dangerous.
Soulja Slim's Give It To Him Raw is a gritty, unpolished debut that blends street realism, personal struggle, and No Limit bravado. The album opens intensely with From What I Was Told, showcasing Slim's fast-paced, aggressive flow, which may take some getting used to. Early tracks like Street Life stumble due to uneven performances, but the album hits its stride with standout songs like Write Me, Imagine, and Taken Hits, where Slim vividly tells stories of betrayal, ambition, and life in the streets. Collaborations with C Murder, Mac, Snoop Dogg, and Mia X add depth, highlighting his chemistry with select peers. While some features full-blooded Tree-Nitty underwhelm, the second half of the album shows improvement in energy and polish, with Wode and Lawbreakers delivering memorable hooks and intensity. NL Party closes the project with a celebratory posse cut, reinforcing No Limit's collective strength. Despite inconsistent execution and a slightly overlong runtime, Give It To Him Raw succeeds as a solid debut that demonstrates Soulja Slim's potential as a storyteller and a distinct southern voice, laying the groundwork for his legacy in New Orleans rap.
I made millions from raps, I couldn't die in scraps, no limit niggas, we scrap, dog.
MP The Last Don is Master P's ambitious double disc project, intended as a retirement statement, showcasing his signature mix of street anthems, mafioso themes, introspection, and hustler motivation. Across nearly 30 tracks, P emphasizes his role as the head of No Limit, consistently collaborating with label mates and other heavy hitters. The album opens with the self-mythologizing The Last Don, setting a reflective tone, and continues with highlights like Till We Dead and Gone with Bone Thugs and Harmony, Thinking About You with Mia X and Moby Dick, and posse cuts such as Soldiers, Riders, and G's and Ghetto Life with UGK, where P's energy and adaptability elevate his collaborators. Themes range from street struggles and personal loss to social commentary and hustler motivation, though some tracks like Black and White and Goodbye to My Homies feel emotionally heavy-handed. Not every track lands. Songs like The Ghettos Got Me Trapped and Let My Nine Get 'Em suffer from weak verses or uninspired production, but P's passion and No Limit's chemistry frequently redeem the album. Production balances soulful melodies with hard-hitting southern beats, sampling classics and remixing previous hits effectively. While sprawling and uneven, MP The Last Don remains a compelling snapshot of late 90s No Limit dominance, loyal, ambitious, and full of the loud, heartfelt energy that defined Master P and his label at their peak.
Cracker took apart my family tree. My mama's on the shit, my daddy splitting, mom steady blaming me.
Am I My Brother's Keeper is a strong late 90s No Limit release, blending street grit, loyalty-driven storytelling, and crossover appeal. Kane and Abel balance energetic posse cuts, soulful tracks, and personal narratives throughout the album. The opener Time After Time featuring Master P sets a tone of perseverance and support within the struggles of ghetto life, while early tracks like This Is For My Smokers and Trying to Have Something maintain momentum with engaging production and relatable storytelling. Posse cuts like Throw Them Things, Watch Me, and No Limit showcase the No Limit roster's energy, with features from Mystikal, Soulja Slim, and C Murder enhancing the dynamic. The duo's smoother tracks, like Call Me When You Need Some and Ghetto Day, provide balance with soulful production and memorable hooks. Despite its strengths, the album has some weaker moments. Out of Town B's Better Kill Me and Bout That Combat feel repetitive or low energy, and the frequent posse tracks sometimes overshadow Kane and Abel's own lyrical voice. However, their chemistry, knack for hooks, and consistent themes of loyalty, survival, and street reality carry the project. Songs like the title track and Only God Knows offer introspection and social commentary, adding depth to the album. Overall, Am I My Brother's Keeper is a well-rounded No Limit release that highlights Kane and Abel's versatility, balancing hard-hitting bangers, soulful moments, and reflective storytelling with more highs than lows.
Soulja rag on my eye, Soulja fit on my frame. I scream whoa when they come through, making that Maggie love.
Max Shell Shocked is a versatile and ambitious album that cements his reputation as one of No Limit's most skilled storytellers. Across 22 tracks, he delivers a mix of raw lyricism, vivid narratives, and adaptable flows, while collaborating with a deep roster of No Limit artists. The album opens strong with Boss Chick featuring Mia X, blending sharp storytelling and smooth, hard-hitting production. Tracks like Murder Murder Kill Kill with Mystikal and Tank Dogs, with C Murder and Fiend showcase Mac's energy, chemistry with collaborators, and thematic range, from loyalty and street life to personal reflection. Highlights like Slow Your Roll and Paranoid demonstrate his narrative prowess, while romantic cuts like Callin' Me and emotionally resonant tracks such as Memories and My Brother add depth and vulnerability. While not every track lands, songs like Soldier Party, Money Gets, Beef, and Camouflage Love are weaker due to production issues or uninspired execution. The majority of the album is compelling. Mac's strength lies in his ability to weave street realism, personal storytelling, and southern swagger into memorable tracks that vary in tone and mood. Shell Shock stands as a strong, well-rounded entry in the No Limit catalog, highlighting Mac at his lyrical and creative peak.
I'm still smoking, drifting, swiffing the motherfucker, twisted off a cup of that old ignorant juice.
Snoop Dogg's The Game Is To Be Sold Not To Be Told marks his first project under No Limit Records, blending his signature West Coast G-Funk style with Southern bounce. Across 21 tracks, Snoop navigates the label's high-energy aesthetic, gradually finding his footing and adapting his delivery to new production styles. Early tracks like Snoop World and Slow Down struggle with chemistry and mixing issues, but by Wolf and Hustle and Ball, Snoop shows strong synergy with No Limit collaborators, bouncing aggression, ambition, and street-savvy lyricism. Tracks like Gin and Juice 2 and Show Me Love nod to his West Coast roots, while True Tank Dogs and What You Gon' Do showcase growing comfort with Southern sounds. The album's standout moments include Dogg's Gonna Get You with Mac, a gripping narrative about betrayal and tragedy, and energetic posse cuts like $20 to My Name, and Ain't Nothing Personal, which highlights strong No Limit collaboration. While some tracks fall flat, DOG's Get Lonely Too and Picture This feel uninspired. The project overall demonstrates Snoop's adaptability and versatility. Mixing experimentation with familiar storytelling, the album delivers a varied listening experience that balances solid performances, a few duds, and undeniable highlights, proving that Snoop could thrive even outside his West Coast comfort zone.
Put your right arm up, dip, and buck your hips. Put your left arm up, dip, and buck your hips. Put your right arm.
Big Ed's The Assassin starts strong with tracks like My Entourage, I'm Your Soldier, and Rodeo, where his chemistry with No Limit heavyweights like Silkk the Shocker, Mystikal, and Master P shines. Early cuts showcase catchy hooks, darker lively instrumentals, and the energy of the label's posse dynamic. Moments like Make Some Room further highlight Big Ed's adaptability, blending smooth grooves with aggressive themes and creating some of the album's most memorable highs. However, the album struggles with consistency. Much of the tracklist falls into repetitive posse-cut formulas, focusing on loyalty, soldier life, and opposition, which leaves Big Ed's solo voice underdeveloped. Songs like Go to War and Life feel flat, and reflective tracks such as I Miss Him and Just Me and You lack the energy needed to engage the listener. Even standout cuts like Assassin rely more on production and featured artists than Big Ed himself. Overall, The Assassin is a loyal, entertaining showcase of No Limit camaraderie, but never fully establishes Big Ed as a solo force.
Every rectangle, triangle, my front sides and back. Niggas try to take me on the ride and leave me straight.
Skullduggery's These Wicked Streets is an uneven effort that shows glimpses of depth and emotion, but struggles to maintain consistency. The album starts weak with Where You From and If It Don't Make Dollars, where Skullduggery takes a back seat to his No Limit peers, resulting in underwhelming chemistry and lackluster production. The turning point comes with The Set Up, a standout collaboration with Mia X that delivers potent political and social commentary, allowing both artists to shine. Tracks like Testimony and My Regiment continue this upward momentum, showing Skullduggery at his best, gritty, emotional, and commanding over dark, soulful production. Unfortunately, the album's momentum doesn't last. Several songs including Satisfied, Mistakes in the Game, and Shakin' in the Streets fall flat due to uninspired beats or weak features. Despite these lows, cuts like Pain, Murder Crime, and Drama highlight Skullduggery's raw delivery and emotional intensity. If You Feelin' for the Fans offer glimpses of his potential for catchy, well-balanced songwriting. Still, the title track underwhelms, and the closing posse cut Ghetto ends the album on a forgettable note. Ultimately, These Wicked Streets captures a talented artist caught between finding his voice and fitting within the No Limit formula. A project with strong highs, but dragged down by too many filler moments.
Damn, it feels good to be a true nigga. Not a worry on my motherfucking mind.
Magic's Sky's the Limit is a mixed but engaging debut that showcases both his potential and his inconsistencies as an artist. The album opens unevenly with tracks like Ghetto Godzilla and Did What I Had To, where strong concepts are weakened by simplistic production and a lack of replay value. However, Magic quickly finds his stride with Depend on Me, featuring C Murder, a standout collaboration driven by sharp chemistry, rugged energy, and a catchy hook. Ninth Ward and No Hope further highlight Magic's strength as a storyteller, blending vivid lyrics with soulful production. Songs like Take It to the Streets, Ball Till We Fall, and I Never showcase his commanding delivery and ability to balance aggression with introspection. Even I Got Love For Ya adds emotional depth. as Magic delivers heartfelt verses about loyalty and struggle, proving he could thrive in both street and soulful contexts. Unfortunately, the album loses consistency in its later half. Tracks like Money Don't Make Me, What I Gotta, and Mob Forever suffer from repetitive themes, flat production, or weak features that dull the project's impact. Despite this, Sky's the Limit manages several standout moments. New Generation delivers high energy and ambition, Sky's the Limit offers uplifting positivity, and Chastity closes the album beautifully with heartfelt emotion and a soulful hook. While the project sometimes feels weighed down by filler and heavy Tupac influence, Magic's charisma, passion, and chemistry with C Murder help elevate the best moments. In the end, Sky's the Limit isn't flawless, but it's a solid debut that proves Magic was one of No Limit's most underrated and versatile voices.
Mama can't be compared to no other bro, because I spit that mental and keep them niggas peeling off.
Listening to Mean Green Major Players was an interesting experience because the project feels like a mix of standout performances and filler moments. The intro is just a commercial skit, nothing much to note. The first real track, Fiend and Mac, We is decent, the melody is nice, but the simplistic beat and average verses don't leave a lasting impact. Things pick up with UGK, Tossed Up, which is one of the project's strongest cuts. The laid-back player-style production grew on me after a few listens, and Bun B and Pimp C glide over it effortlessly with slick wordplay. Ghetto Commission, Devil's Playground is another highlight, with its dark storytelling about street life and redemption, though the loud chorus slightly hurts it. Major Players with Master P, Mia X, Silkk, and Portia is okay. The smooth production and Portia's hook are solid, but the verses feel routine. Too Short Better Player has catchy production and clever lyrics, but his relaxed delivery clashes with the beat's intensity. The project finds its emotional core with C Murder, Snoop Dogg, and Magic, Dying in My City, a heartfelt reflection on tragedy and community loss over a slow, mournful instrumental. From there, the quality wavers, Steady Mobb'n, MG Theme, and E40 and Sugar T, Sucker Repellent have creative ideas, but falter in execution, while the Gambino family, Ashes and Dust, and Lil Soldiers, Close to You, struggle to stand out despite decent concepts. The album gains momentum again in its later stretch. Mystikal, that's the nigga, reignites the energy with his wild animated delivery and a snappy beat that fits him perfectly. Prime Suspects, For Your Troubles is another gem, balancing pain and resilience over smooth inspirational production. Passion, Don't Be Mad is a sleeper hit. The more you hear it, the more her raw vocals and catchy hook win you over. Be Legit and C Murder, Bigathan, rise an ominous laid-back groove with tough, confident verses that complement each other well. Even Moby Dick's Tell Me When, though repetitive, adds a sensual tone that breaks up the energy. The closer Mac 10 and the Comrades, Gotta Have Cash, ends the album on a strong note with a classic West Coast bounce and hustler spirit. Overall, Major Players is a mixed but respectable compilation. When it hits, it really hits, delivering some of No Limit's most atmospheric and collaborative moments. But when it misses, it reminds you how uneven compilation albums can be.
Good and bad, right or wrong, lurk in the land. You choose your fate gracefully, save your soul if you can. Life is short.
Prime Suspects, Guilty Till Proven Innocent is a solid but uneven No Limit project that flashes greatness even if it never fully sustains it. The opener, All For One featuring Master P, sets a dark tone with its sinister production and P's commanding presence, though the group's own performances feel uneven. Things pick up fast with Money Makes, featuring Silkk the Shocker and Kane and Abel, which delivers a sharp concept about greed and corruption over polished production. The standout early moment is Liquidation of the Ghetto, featuring Mystikal, an excellent track with smooth instrumentation, deep storytelling, and passionate delivery from everyone involved, tied together by a soulful female hook. Tracks like Max and Choppers and Bust Back continue the strong run with warlike energy, punchy hooks, and memorable aggression, though songs like Ride With My Heat and Someone Shoulda Told Me fall short, feeling more like filler. Glock in particular often drags tracks down with clunky flows and unpolished presence, hurting songs that otherwise have potential. Thankfully, the album bounces back with a run of creative, well-produced highlights. Of all the hustles, featuring C Murder stands out for his catchy hook and Hustler's Ambition, while My Old Lady with Snoop Dogg and Fiend cleverly flips a cocaine metaphor into a smooth storytelling track. Tweakin', driven by New Nine's solo performance, captures the rush and chaos of addiction in both delivery and production. Consequences of the Streets might be the album's best moment, hard-hitting, vividly written, and emotionally powerful. Late in the record, Last Days with Mac delivers a haunting reflection on mortality, daily routine thrives off suspenseful production and structure, and the title track Guilty Till Proven Innocent closes out the message-driven highlights with a strong social theme about injustice and survival. Still, the momentum fades on weaker cuts like Fear Young, Soldier for Life, and Children of the Corn, which suffer from poor mixing and uninspired delivery. In the end, Guilty Till Proven Innocent isn't a flawless effort, but it's an underrated and thoughtful entry in the No Limit catalog, full of ambition, street realism, and moments where prime suspects proved they had real potential. Gambino Family, Ghetto Organized is one of the most unexpectedly strong No Limit releases, delivering consistency, chemistry, and standout production from start to finish. The opener, I'm a Baller featuring Master P, C Murder, and Mia X, is a statement track, a high-energy anthem with a bounce-heavy beat and commanding features that set the tone perfectly. Childhood Years brings an emotional shift, with reflective verses about growing up in struggle and a heartfelt hook from Portia that complements C Murder's raw delivery. Make 'Em Bleed keeps the energy high as a smooth posse cut that balances aggression and melody. The group proves they can hold their own on solo tracks too. Desperado channels a cinematic, Western-inspired energy, while Drama in My City paints a vivid portrait of street survival through gritty flows and detailed storytelling. The standout Trapped in a Storm featuring Mia X and C Murder feels like peak No Limit chemistry, sharp lyricism, perfect structure, and a mafioso-style beat that embodies the label's signature intensity. The second half of the album continues that momentum, mixing social commentary and creativity with great production choices. Only G's Ride featuring Mystikal and Moby Dick flips expectations with a smooth guitar-driven groove, while Clean Sweep stands out as one of the group's best performances, attacking police corruption with sharp writing and a catchy hook. Tracks like Getaways and So Much Drama add depth through emotional production and sincere storytelling, while Studio B brings a lighter, more playful side with Snoop Dogg's effortless charm and Moby Dick's soulful hook. While Young Gun's Losing My Faith and Memories dip slightly in energy, they don't derail the project. The album's closing stretch brings it all back together. To All My Thug and Don't Cry are excellent posse cuts with great synergy, and Mafiosos reclaims the dark cinematic edge Before You Never Know closes things out beautifully with a haunting beat and reflective lyrics on trust and betrayal. Overall, Ghetto Organized is a hidden gem in the No Limit catalog, cohesive, passionate, and more refined than expected. Gambino Family delivers strong performances throughout, proving they were more than just background players, and the production ensures the album never loses momentum, cementing it as one of No Limit's most underrated group projects.
I try to be everything you need. And if I wrote I love you in the sky, you probably wouldn't read it.
Mia X, Mama Drama is a solid but uneven album that showcases both the strengths and limitations of Mia X within the No Limit system. The project opens strong with Bring It On, where Fiend's raspy hype energy and Mia's confident delivery blend perfectly, establishing her as one of the label's most commanding voices. Mama Drama, the title track, continues that streak, with Mia riding a dramatic beat while Fiend hypes her in the background, resulting in one of the album's most definitive cuts. Songs like I'm a Shine and I Think Somebody highlight her versatility, the former being an uplifting anthem with New Orleans bounce flavor, and the latter a dark creative track that uses gunshots as percussive elements. However, the momentum dips on What You Wanna Do in Mama's tribute, which have strong ideas but lack spark, and Thugs Like Me and Ride or Run fail to connect due to awkward production and misplaced energy. Don't Start No Shit and Play with P bring back some of Mia's bravado, powered by catchy instrumentals and fiery delivery, while Ghetto Livin' impresses conceptually, but ends up feeling more like a Ghetto Commission showcase than Mia's own moment. The album truly shines when Mia X embraces her personal and introspective side. Daddy is a heartfelt standout, a warm dedication to her father that reveals a softer layer of her artistry. Like That carries motivational energy, encouraging perseverance in the face of envy, while Sex Ed cleverly mixes sensuality and wordplay with Silkk the Shocker, showing Mia's comfort in balancing humor and confidence. Flip and Rip with Mac adds creativity and chemistry, while the closer Fallen Angels' Dear Jill ends the project on a powerful emotional note, a soulful tribute to her late friend that ranks among her best performances. Overall, Mama Drama captures Mia X's potential and charisma, but also her struggle to maintain focus amid a flood of features and filler. When the production and writing align, she proves she's one of the most talented and emotionally grounded artists on No Limit, but the album's inconsistency keeps it from reaching its full potential.
Father, forgive me for the wrong I done, but I was high, my brain was numb. I ain't meant for him to die.
Ghetto Commission, Wise Guys is one of the most surprising and well-crafted albums to emerge from No Limit's late 90s catalog. From the start, it's clear this project stands apart from the typical No Limit formula. I'm a Soulja sets the tone with its gospel-infused production and passionate vocals, blending intensity and spirituality in a way that feels cinematic. Ghetto Commission show real chemistry, delivering verses full of conviction and raw emotion that complement the grand atmosphere of the beat. That balance between aggressive street anthems and reflective storytelling defines the album. Tracks like Thug Till I Die and How Could You Blame Us showcase their lyrical depth and cohesion as a group, while Hustler Baller, Run Quickly, and Bloodline lean into their darker, more menacing side. The production on these cuts is sinister and polished, and Holloway emerges as a standout with his fiery delivery and biting wordplay. Even when features appear, such as Fiend or Magic, they feel naturally integrated, enhancing rather than overshadowing the group. Where Wise Guys really shines, though, is in its moments of emotional and thematic weight. These Eyes of Mine and Devil's Playground bring soulful, sorrowful undertones to stories of pain, violence, and redemption, while Shackled stands as the album's centerpiece. A raw, politically charged masterpiece that confronts slavery and modern oppression with unapologetic fury and depth. The closing stretch keeps that quality high with Ghost in the Dark and Wise Guys, which both emphasize the group's unity and perspective, before ending on Thug Love, a smooth, soulful track that brings balance and closure. While some songs suffer from uneven hooks or weaker guest performances, Get 'Em Up and Lost Thugs especially, the majority of the album is tight, passionate, and purposeful. Overall, Wise Guys is one of No Limit's most underrated gems, an album that fuses street realism, spiritual reflection, and lyrical fire into a cohesive and memorable statement.
So many murders jumping off, blood soaking the streets, so many children worldwide with nothing to eat, there's no...
Steady Mobb'n's Black Mafia is an uneven follow-up that struggles to capture the raw authenticity and chemistry that made premeditated drama so memorable. The album opens strong with Ghetto Life, where the Marvin Gaye sample, Snoop Dogg's smooth feature, and Steady Mobb'n's heartfelt verses come together beautifully. Bout That Mess also stands out, bringing infectious energy alongside Fiend Mac and Big Ed. But after these early highlights, the project begins to lose focus. Songs like Still Hustlin', When Them Killers Call, and Papa Didn't Raise No Punks suffer from repetitive hooks, hollow production, and performances that feel more forced than inspired. The group's shift to a louder, more aggressive style, especially from Crooked Eye, undermines the laid-back confidence that once set them apart, while the glossy No Limit sound doesn't fully complement their West Coast roots. Even with these flaws, Black Mafia manages to deliver moments of depth and emotion that remind listeners of Steady Mobb'n's potential. Tracks like Heaven or Hell and Plead My Case stand out for their darker introspection, while Carry On featuring Mr. Serv-On hits a deeply emotional note about grief and perseverance. The album's final stretch partially redeems the experience, with songs like Turn Me Up, which cleverly flips the message, and Family Ties, showing improved chemistry and stronger hooks. Unfortunately, inconsistent performances and lackluster production choices keep Black Mafia from reaching the emotional or creative peaks of their debut. While it's not without its gems, the album ultimately feels like a missed opportunity, a project with flashes of greatness that never quite finds its rhythm.
Come pounding on all four. Got to get it like a dog. Blood on my paws, human flesh in my jaw.
Full-Blooded's Memorial Day is an uneven and often frustrating listen that exposes his weaknesses as both a rapper and performer. The album starts promisingly with Dog Shit, which features a dramatic, soulful instrumental that sets an intense tone. But Full-Blooded's muffled, chaotic delivery quickly derails the momentum. His aggressive yet unclear vocal style makes it difficult to connect with his lyrics, leaving many songs feeling messy or incomplete. Tracks like Quickest Way to Die and I'm Gonna Hustle further highlight the problem. Despite strong production and solid guest appearances from Moby Dick, C Murder, and Big Ed, Full-Blooded consistently fails to match their charisma or polish. Even Snoop Dogg sounds disengaged on Gangsta Shit, a testament to how little chemistry exists between the collaborators. The beats and hooks often shine, but Full-Blooded's unfocused flow and indistinct delivery keep the project from clicking. There are a few moments, however, where Memorial Day shows glimpses of potential. Sleep No More and Out of Sight, Out of Mind stand out as the rare instances where Full-Blooded's tone aligns with the dark, reflective mood of the production, allowing him to sound more natural and emotionally connected. Similarly, Headbusting and Countdown benefit from the presence of stronger supporting acts like Hounds from Gert Town and Steady Mobb'n, who bring cohesion and energy that he often lacks. Yet these highlights can't save the project from its core issue. Full-Blooded simply doesn't have the vocal control, lyrical sharpness, or charisma to sustain an entire album. By the closer Full-Blooded, it's clear that the project succeeds despite him rather than because of him. While the production and features offer flashes of classic No Limit grit and soul, Memorial Day ultimately feels like a missed opportunity. A showcase of good beats and guests weighed down by an artist who never quite finds his footing.
MP be my name, from the ghetto to fame, got to make them say, get the world screaming my name.
No Limit Soldier's compilation, We Can't Be Stopped, lands as a largely forgettable compilation, with only a handful of tracks standing out amid an otherwise uneven collection. The opener, No Limit Soldiers 2, is a decent posse cut, but suffers from uneven performances and awkward instrumental choices. Mystikal's I Ain't Playin' is unique in style, but grating over its runtime. The compilation's highlights are few. Snoop Dogg's Gangsta Move impresses with smooth G-Funk production and effortless flow, while Mr. Serv-On's My City brings joyful, hometown-inspired energy. Mia X's Girl Power has a strong concept but lacks execution. And Magic and Max, Heaven for a Thug, is similarly uneven, with only Magic shining. Many other tracks fail to leave a lasting impression. Fiend's Break Something, C Murder and Magic's Real Niggas Gon' Ride, and Steady Mobb'n's Red Rum are merely serviceable. While Ghetto Commission's Ghost in the Dark 2, Full-Blooded, and The Hounds Hound Out, and Kane and Abel's It's a Riot feel generic and uninspired. Big Ed and Master P's Assassin delivers energy but basic lyrics, and Lil Soldier's Where the Lil Soldiers At attempts to mimic Hot Boys and Girls without fully succeeding. The album closes with Freedom's Bring My Burners, encapsulating the compilation's main issue. Solid performances and decent flow are often wasted on uninspiring lyrics and unremarkable production. Overall, We Can't Be Stopped is a compilation of sporadic highlights buried beneath a sea of mediocrity.
Bring it up, chop it up, cut it up, tuck it in, take the fill out, roll it up. Light, hit it, hold it, fast, pop, pop, blow it.
Mystikal, Ghetto Fabulous is a high-energy, chaotic showcase of Mystikal's unorthodox flows, inventive lyricism, and animated delivery. From the explosive opener Round Out the Tank to standout tracks like There He Go and That's the Nigga, Mystikal dominates with unpredictable style, clever metaphors, and theatrical bravado. The title track, featuring Charlie Wilson and Snoop Dogg, perfectly balances his wild energy with smooth melodic production, while Life Ain't Cool provides heartfelt reflection, highlighting the sacrifices of mothers and adding a human element to the album. Creative storytelling continues on tracks like I'm on Fire and I Smell Smoke, where Mystikal blends humor, narrative, and lyrical skill, keeping the listener engaged throughout. Collaborations with Busta Rhymes, Mia X, and Fiend further enhance the album, producing dynamic chemistry and memorable performances. Despite the many high points, the album isn't flawless. Songs like Stack Yo Chips, Dirty South, Dirty Jers, and posse cuts such as What's Your Alias and Let's Go Do It feel less compelling, with either lackluster performances or repetitive flows that fail to stand out. Tracks like Yall demonstrate Mystikal's challenge in balancing his signature chaotic style without it becoming monotonous. Overall, Ghetto Fabulous succeeds in showcasing Mystikal's creative range, blending aggressive street anthems, smooth soulful tracks, and clever storytelling, making it a vibrant, unpredictable album that rewards attentive listening and highlights why Mystikal remains one of No Limit's most distinctive talents.
For real. I know we from different sides, you know.
Silkk the Shocker Made Man is a frustrating album that showcases both the best and worst aspects of Silkk's unorthodox style. The concept behind the project is strong. Silkk embraces his status as a made man, building off his previous album with themes of success, loyalty, love, and the struggles of street life. Unfortunately, the execution falters almost immediately. Silkk's flow, already unconventional, becomes far sloppier here. He frequently raps off beat, stammers through lines, and even mumbles incomplete lyrics, creating an amateurish and at times awkward listening experience. Tracks like If It Don't Make Dollars stand out because they manage to turn his chaotic delivery into something entertaining, with Silkk adapting to a complex beat impressively well. No Limit and Mr. 99 are also highlights that show his potential. Both tracks have catchy flows, infectious hooks, and strong chemistry with Mystikal, who brings out the best in Silkk when they collaborate. Unfortunately, many other songs collapse under the weight of Silkk's inconsistency. It Ain't My Fault 2 feels like a lopsided sequel, with Mystikal delivering an electric verse, while Silkk sounds completely out of sync. The love songs are hit or miss. Somebody Like Me with Maya lacks chemistry and feels awkward, while All Because of You with Mia X fares better thanks to their balanced interplay, despite an odd beatboxing instrumental. The weakest moments come when Silkk attempts emotional tracks for his fallen friends, particularly It's Going Around Outside, where his attempt at a somber tone turns unintentionally comical. His strained offbeat delivery makes it difficult to take the sentiment seriously. Still, despite these glaring flaws, Made Man isn't a complete disaster. Tracks like If It Don't Make Dollars and Get It Up, featuring Snoop Dogg, show flashes of the creativity that once made Silkk an interesting figure in the No Limit roster. Overall, while Made Man has moments of promise and solid concepts, it ultimately suffers from poor execution and inconsistent performances that highlight Silkk's worst habits as a rapper.
Be realistic, if I slap the fuck out you, would you talk about it? Better yet, if I come your motherfucking house, fuck your wife, piss on your grass, kick your dog, would you cry about it?
Mr. Serv-On's The Next Level is an album that really challenged my expectations. Right from the jump with Tank Nigga, it's clear that Serv-On has a style that's hard to pin down. His fast, aggressive, almost offbeat delivery makes him stand out. And even though it sounds unorthodox, there's a strange charm to it that grows the more you listen. The No Limit posse cuts like Tank Nigga and Boot 'Em Up show how well he meshes with his label mates, especially when you add in Fiend's raspy ruggedness and Mystikal's wild, unpredictable energy. The production on this album is definitely different compared to the usual Beats by the Pound sound. It's far more simplistic, but what surprised me is how catchy that simplicity becomes with repeat listens. Tracks like FU Serve and 1, 2, 3 thrive on these minimal yet infectious melodies, giving Serv-On the space to flex his unique style. At times though, his flow can get repetitive. Songs like Murder and Best Friend 2 start to expose how his constant cramming of words into bars can feel monotonous, especially when the beats don't evolve much. Where the album really shines is in its emotional core. My Homies is a standout, with Sons of Funk adding a soulful, heartfelt hook, while Serv-On slows his flow and delivers vivid, touching memories of the people he's lost. Tracks like I'll Be There with Miss Peaches and My Story with KLC show Serv-On at his best, balancing his unorthodox delivery with deep storytelling and passion. These songs prove that his style, when matched with the right production and subject matter, can be powerful and moving. The closing track, The Last Song, with Odell's ghostly vocals, is another phenomenal example. It feels haunting yet hopeful, and Serv-On's passionate performance makes it a perfect send-off. That said, the album isn't without filler. Songs like Snatch Them Hoes Up, Strap Up, and Make 'Em Bleed don't really do much to stand out and feel like throwaway cuts compared to the stronger moments. Even some decent ideas like Straight Outta N.O. suffer because the production and aggressive deliveries don't quite blend. But once you hit the second half of the record, Mr. Serv-On starts showing his versatility and depth, and the payoff is huge. The emotional tracks elevate the whole project, and while his style can be an acquired taste, there's no denying the personality and raw passion behind it. The Next Level ends up being an intriguing album, imperfect and sometimes monotonous, but filled with gems that prove Mr. Serv-On brought something truly unique to the No Limit roster.
I'm here to let the whole world know I'm hard to control. You can't conquer my soul.
C Murder's Bossalinie stands as one of the more ambitious and complete releases from No Limit's late 90s run. It captures every side of C Murder as an artist, gritty, passionate, and grounded in both street realism and personal reflection. Across nearly 30 tracks, he balances gangster anthems, heartfelt introspection, and collaborations with West Coast icons, all while keeping a clear focus on storytelling. The album kicks off strong with Ghetto Boy, an energetic posse cut that sets the tone for the album's street-centered narrative. Like a Jungle quickly becomes the emotional centerpiece, a haunting, introspective masterpiece that flips the message of survival from the message into a deeply personal reflection on pain, loss, and perseverance. Tracks like Gangsta Walk with Snoop Dogg and Living Legend with Master P showcase C Murder's versatility and charisma, proving he can match energy with legends while maintaining his own distinct voice. Meanwhile, songs like Street Keep Callin' and Lord Help Us reveal a deeper layer to his artistry as he grapples with morality, faith, and the temptation of the streets, blending raw honesty with spiritual depth in a way few of his peers could. The second half of the album shows both C Murder's strengths and its pacing flaws. Collaborations like Ghetto Millionaire with Corrupt, Snoop Dogg, and Nate Dogg Dogg and I Remember with Magic are rich in chemistry and emotion, while Lil Nigga delivers a message of empowerment rooted in C Murder's own experience. But with its long runtime, Bossalinie occasionally loses momentum. Tracks like Money Talks and Where We Wanna suffer from bland production, and some skits interrupt the album's otherwise immersive flow. Still, C Murder manages to pull everything together with his commanding presence and emotional sincerity. Even on softer tracks like Don't Wanna Be Alone, his vulnerability feels genuine, proving his range goes far beyond street anthems. The closer closing down shop ties everything back to his core: loyalty, hustle, and legacy. In the end, Bossalinie is far from perfect, but its ambition and emotional weight make it one of No Limit's most well-rounded albums. It's C Murder's defining moment, a project that captures both the aggression and introspection that made him one of the label's most compelling voices. The Foolish soundtrack blends smooth R&B vintage funk and No Limit's street-heavy rap into a surprisingly cohesive yet uneven package. The title track Foolish by Master P, Moby Dick, and Magic sets the tone, but it's a mixed bag. Moby Dick's soulful hook carries the track, while Master P's laid-back verses feel uninspired, and Magic's aggressive tone clashes with the mellow vibe. Thankfully, the album quickly recovers, with highlights like Odell and Portia's Nothing Stays the Same, a beautifully crafted R&B duet that's heartfelt and smooth despite some tonal imbalance. West Coast flavor shines through on Don't Be Foolish from Snoop Dogg, Daz, and Corrupt, a track full of charisma and bounce that perfectly captures their chemistry. Fiend's They Don't Hear Me also stands out, showcasing his fiery delivery over a hypnotic minimal beat. The soundtrack's use of old school classics, from Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On to the OJ's For the Love of Money and Kool and the Gang's Jungle Boogie, adds richness and soul, grounding the project in timeless sound. Other gems like Silkk the Shockers for Money and C Murder's radio edit of Like a Jungle reinforce the No Limit energy while bringing motivational and introspective tones. Tracks like Crooked Eyes' Get Your Mob On, Kane and Abel's Yes Indeed, and Mystikal's That's That Shit maintain the label's signature intensity, blending street bravado with infectious hooks. However, the soundtrack isn't without filler. Lil Soulja's School on Lock is cute but underdeveloped, and Mia X's What You Know Good suffers from cluttered production. Even solid verses from Ghetto Commission and Mr. Serv-On get weighed down by weak choruses. Despite these dips, the soundtrack closes on an experimental note with Parliament's Aqua Boogie, a wild funk-driven ride that adds eccentric character to the project. Overall, Foolish succeeds as a soundtrack that captures the late 90s No Limit spirit while mixing in classic soul and smooth R&B. It's uneven, but when it hits, it delivers a unique and memorable listening experience. Moby Dick's Gangsta Harmony is one of the most musically distinctive projects to ever come from No Limit Records. From the first track, Picture You and Me, it's clear that Moby Dick operates in his own creative lane. His unconventional singing, sometimes offbeat, sometimes off-key, manages to feel soulful, heartfelt, and surprisingly addictive. The production is lush and smooth, blending R&B sensuality with southern hip-hop grit. Tracks like Intercourse and You Got That Fire capture the essence of the album's title, delivering slow-burning romantic grooves that are as intimate as they are hypnotic. Moby Dick's vocals glide between soft vulnerability and raw emotion, giving these songs a depth that sets him apart from typical R&B acts of the late 90s. His songwriting is equally impressive, layered with themes of passion, loyalty, and introspection that make the project feel deeply personal. Beyond the romantic themes, Gangsta Harmony showcases Moby Dick's versatility in storytelling. Songs like Got to Get Mine and Smoke My Life Away explore the realities of struggle, survival, and escapism, grounding the album with introspection and honesty. His collaborations add even more dimension. Part 3, with C Murder, Magic, and Mia X, is a powerful No Limit anthem that merges soulful hooks with street bravado, while I'd Be a Fool and Leave Her Alone bring emotional and social awareness through strong vocal chemistry and meaningful lyrics. Tracks like Shoot 'Em Up Movies and Could It Be reveal his cinematic storytelling ability, turning love songs into vivid narratives. Even the lighter cuts like It's Alright and Want Need maintain quality with their melodic choruses and polished arrangements. Altogether, Gangsta Harmony is a testament to Moby Dick's artistic depth, a smooth, heartfelt, and ambitious blend of soul, R&B, and hip-hop that proves emotion and creativity can thrive within the No Limit formula.
Where the little soldiers at? Open it, watch it. There they go. Where they at? Open it, watch it.
Lil Soulja's Boot Camp is one of the most unusual albums to come out of No Limit's late 90s run. The young duo, just 7 and 9 years old at the time, clearly had talent, rhythm, and an understanding of rap structure far beyond their age. Tracks like Soulja Style and Where the Little Soulja's At show they could flow confidently over beats by the Pound's high energy production, paying homage to the No Limit roster while carving their own identity as the label's future soldiers. The guest features from Magic, Fiend, Mia X, and Ghetto Commission help legitimize the project, adding muscle to their youthful enthusiasm. Songs like Close to a Bomb and Best in the World even managed to transcend the gimmick, combining catchy cinematic beats with themes of confidence, teamwork, and determination. There's a sense of ambition and positivity throughout the album that's hard not to respect, especially with tracks like Close to You and Okie Dokie, which promote family values and staying grounded. But for all the energy and effort behind Boot Camp, the album's biggest limitation is unavoidable: their voices. The high-pitched, childlike tone makes it difficult to take some of the harder or more serious moments seriously, no matter how solid the lyrics or production might be. At times, the juxtaposition of gritty No Limit beats and innocent vocals creates a strange tension that can pull you out of the experience. Even the featured artists occasionally sound detached, as if unsure how to match their intensity to the kids' delivery. While songs like Schoolyard Battling and Get Up bring fun, infectious energy, the novelty wears off before the end of the album. Still, Boot Camp deserves credit for what it represents. No Limit's willingness to experiment and give young talent a platform, it's a project that shows potential and heart, even if the execution never quite escapes the gimmick.
Oh no, big Snoop Dogg, back up in the heezy, baby, you jocking my style.
No Limit Top Dog is Snoop Dogg's true return to form, blending his signature West Coast style with No Limit's Southern grit. From the start, Snoop sounds revitalized. Tracks like Buck 'Em and My Heat Goes Boom bring that classic G-Funk energy with updated production muscle. His flow is as smooth as ever, gliding over Dr. Dre's slick beats, while keeping the attitude and charisma that defined his early career. Songs like Trust Me showcase his range with offbeat features like Sugar Free and Silky Fine, mixing funk, temptation, and street wisdom in a way only Snoop could pull off. Snoop-a-Fella and In Love with a Thug remind listeners of his storytelling chops, flipping fairy tales and love stories into gritty cinematic street tales. The chemistry on Down For My Ends with C Murder and Magic is undeniable, a raw anthem built on loyalty and respect that became one of the defining records of his No Limit run. What makes No Limit Top Dog stand out is Snoop's balance of styles. He can drop gangster bangers like Bitch Please, then slide into smoother, soulful tracks like Better Days and Just Dippin' without missing a beat. Even when a few tracks, Something About Your Business, Gangsta Ride, feel more like filler, Snoop's charisma keeps them listenable. The production stays consistently strong, with lush bass lines, melodic synths, and that unmistakable West Coast bounce, blending seamlessly with No Limit's rugged edge. There's even heart in moments like I Love My Mama, showing Snoop's depth beyond his gangster persona. Overall, No Limit Top Dog feels like the album where Snoop fully reclaims his creative identity. It's confident, versatile, and filled with personality. It might just be his best No Limit release, proving that even in a new environment, Snoop could still run the game his way.
Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. Some ball players like
Who You With is one of No Limit's most creative and underrated compilations, built entirely around a basketball theme that gives it a refreshing edge compared to the label's usual street-heavy output. The album opens with Master P's B-Ball, a lively nod to Curtis Blow's classic, setting the tone with playful energy and a clear love for the game. Fiend's Cold With It follows, pairing his gravelly voice with slick production for a track that balances skill and swagger. Ghetto Commission's Give Me the Rock turns basketball into a metaphor for ambition, while Magic's You Ain't a Baller stands out as one of the best cuts, full of personality and humor. Mac's Put Me in the Game delivers heartfelt storytelling about staying motivated through setbacks, and Snoop Dogg's Hoop Dreams He Got Game blends slick G-Funk with vivid imagery, turning hoop dreams into cinematic poetry. Mia X also shines with Such a Bad Girl, offering a strong female take on competition and empowerment. While not every track hits, songs like B-Ballin' on My Block, I'm Hot, and Smash and Ball feel more filler than highlight. The compilation keeps its momentum through its creativity and consistency. Even when Silkk the Shocker stumbles on It Ain't My Fault Too, the project's overall energy doesn't drop. Posse cuts like Pass the Ball and Woof, with Snoop Dogg, Mystikal, and Fiend, give the album that signature No Limit punch, while the repeated b-ball instrumentals tie the whole concept together. What makes Who You With work is how committed it is to its theme. turning a simple idea into a cohesive, entertaining showcase for the label's roster. It's fun, upbeat, and full of personality, proving that No Limit could experiment outside their comfort zone and still deliver something engaging. The Crime family perfectly represents the dual nature of No Limit Records in the late 90s. Ambitious, prolific, and often uneven, the album opens strong with TRU The Beginning, a cinematic intro that sets a smooth mafioso tone while highlighting the group's hustler mentality. Hootie Hoo follows with one of the most recognizable hooks in No Limit history, catchy, anthemic, and slightly overplayed, but still effective in capturing the label's energetic spirit. Tracks like Dangerous in My City and Miller Boys reveal the group's inconsistency, featuring flashes of strong verses, especially from Silkk the Shocker, but weighed down by filler production and uneven performances. Across the album, the biggest flaw is the lack of cohesion among TRU's core members. Master P, C Murder, and Silkk rarely sound locked in together, and the chemistry that made earlier TRU projects standout feels diminished. Still, moments like Don't Judge Me and The World Is Yours show what the group can do when everything clicks. Silkk shines solo with sharp flow and focus, while the soulful hooks from Portia and Odell bring warmth and depth to otherwise gritty street tales. Despite its flaws, the Crime family has undeniable highlights that showcase the heart and range of TRU. R.I.P. Kevin stands as one of the album's emotional peaks, with all three members delivering heartfelt tributes supported by haunting vocals that make it a standout in their catalog. Hail Mary and Living Like a Hustler continue that momentum, proving that when TRU find the right balance between production and passion, the results are powerful. Guest features from No Limit regulars like Snoop Dogg, Mia X, Big Ed, and Moby Dick keep the project dynamic, though their presence sometimes overshadows the core trio. Production-wise, the album embodies classic No Limit aesthetics, dramatic, cinematic, and built for car speakers, even if some beats feel repetitive or underdeveloped. Ultimately, the Crime family is an album of highs and lows. At its best, it captures TRU's grit, emotion, and charisma. At its worst, it exposes the fatigue of a label releasing too much too fast. Still, it remains a key snapshot of the No Limit era, flawed, heartfelt, and undeniably authentic.
Let me tell you about your baby daddy, picking me up early in the morning.
Rear End is a project that highlights both Mercedes' undeniable talent and the frustrating inconsistencies that hold it back from greatness. Right from the opener, It's Your Thing, featuring Master P, it's clear that Mercedes brings charisma and versatility to every track. Her smooth, alluring vocals carry the song even when P's verse feels phoned in. Her ability to switch between rapping and singing gives the album texture, especially on songs like Hit 'Em and Camouflage, where she exudes confidence and loyalty to the No Limit movement. These moments show how dynamic she can be when she's the clear focus. Unfortunately, Rear End often stumbles due to overuse of guest features that clash with her tone and energy. Collaborations like Talk to Me and Hush fail to click, while otherwise promising tracks such as Put Your Bonnie and Clyde are weakened by uneven chemistry and mixing issues. The recurring sexual themes dominate the project, sometimes to empowering effect, sometimes to its detriment. Tracks like Do You Wanna Ride and Pony Ride showcase Mercedes' sensual confidence and strong melodic instincts, but others, like I Can Tell and Ends Ain't Shit, falter in consistency despite their catchy hooks. Still, when Rear End finds its balance, it shines. You're the Only One, featuring Alexis, is one of the album's most beautiful and well-produced moments, with both artists blending seamlessly over lush instrumentation. I Need a Thug also stands out for its perfect vocal chemistry between Mercedes, Odell, and Popeye, showing how effective her collaborations can be when handled thoughtfully. Even the spoken word track Talk Dirty to the DJs proves that Mercedes had the creativity and presence to carry the album on her own. The production throughout is classic late 90s No Limit, smooth, bass-heavy, and polished, but sometimes feels too formulaic to elevate weaker material. Ultimately, Rear End feels like an album bursting with potential that doesn't quite reach its ceiling. Mercedes proves herself as one of No Limit's most underrated voices, capable of balancing sensuality, confidence, and artistry, but the uneven execution and guest-heavy structure prevent Rear End from being the cohesive standout project it could have been.
I'm from the city where they ride around town, windows half down, pissing disgusting, better than blow.
Street Life immerses listeners in Fiend's gritty cinematic world, blending street storytelling with raw emotional delivery. The album opens with a reflective skit that immediately sets the tone, framing his upbringing and the challenges that shaped him. Tracks like The Rock Show and Talk It How I Bring It showcase Fiend's raspy animated style over catchy horn-driven beats. Balancing high-energy performances with vivid storytelling, his ability to infuse personality and conviction into each verse makes even the simpler tracks engaging, while collaborations with artists like Odell and Holloway add depth and melodic texture. Fiend's knack for conveying the hustle, struggle, and street mentality comes through consistently, creating a sense of authenticity that anchors the album. Not every song hits the mark. Cuts like War for a Reason, Get Into It, and Actin' Bad can feel generic or weighed down by uninspired production, but the album's standout moments more than compensate. Emotional tracks like Heart of a Ghetto Boy and I Was Placed Here highlight his ability to combine soulful instrumentation with introspective lyricism, while the haunting closer, Waiting on God, delivers a deeply personal reflection on faith, redemption, and life choices. Overall, Street Life is a mixed but compelling project that captures Fiend's unique voice in southern rap. When he locks into the right concepts and soundscapes, his music is both powerful and emotionally resonant, proving why he stands out as a storyteller and authentic figure in the No Limit roster.
My heart is bigger than my body. Make moves like God, they sting like a wasp. Throw them things like
On Top of the World is a mixed listen that shows Lil Italy's potential, but struggles with originality and consistency. The album opens strong with Ghetto Fame, where motivational energy, solid chorus vocals, and Lil Italy's raw delivery create a promising start. However, many tracks fall short due to clunky features, generic lyrics, and uneven chemistry. Songs like We Riders, Power, and Fake Ass Friends feel uninspired despite decent production. Lil Italy's voice has versatility, and he occasionally switches up his delivery in interesting ways, but too often it isn't enough to make the tracks memorable. That said, the project has genuine highlights where production, features, and performance align. Hoes and Tramps with Fiend showcases smooth chemistry, Game Tight delivers polished motivational energy, and No Limit Posse cuts like We Ain't Hard to Find bring lively, engaging performances. The latter half of the album shines with tracks like 7 Days a Week, Down and Dirty, and Badussi, which stand out for catchy hooks, creativity, and stronger delivery. The closing track, California, provides a serious reflective end that ties the project together. Overall, On Top of the World feels caught between inspiration and imitation. Lil Italy demonstrates flashes of talent, but the album as a whole struggles to establish a distinct identity within the No Limit roster.
I do my best to keep my past in my past. I remember wearing ski masks, running from the task, bossing at this.
Thuggin showcases Magic's versatility, energy, and storytelling ability, making it one of his strongest No Limit releases. The album kicks off with That's Me, an energetic opener that establishes his loyalty to the label and his confident persona, backed by infectious, playful production. Tracks like Ice on My Wrist with Master P and Wobble Wobble with C Murder and Mac continue the momentum, blending flexing, catchy hooks, and fun vibes. Where the album truly shines are the deeper cuts. Soulja is a passionate anthem about loyalty and perseverance. Good Looking Out delivers vivid storytelling of betrayal and revenge with D.I.G., and Puff Puff balances animated delivery with thoughtful reflections on marijuana culture. Vulnerable tracks like Thank You Lord for My Life with Mia X and Wanna Get Away with Miss Peaches add depth, showing Magic's ability to convey gratitude, faith, and personal struggles. Not every track hits the same heights. Songs like Club Thang and We Gon' Ride feel more generic and forgettable, but Magic's raspy delivery and personality keep the album engaging. The outro, where he thanks fans and shares personal milestones, reinforces the project's cohesive journey. Thuggin captures a wide spectrum of energy, from hype party tracks to introspective storytelling, and demonstrates Magic's ability to adapt to different moods while staying true to his identity. Overall, it's a well-rounded, engaging album that highlights his unique voice, creativity, and capacity to blend fun, grit, and heart into a solid No Limit release. World War III is a mixed bag that alternates between moments of strength and stretches of disappointment. The album kicks off with the energetic War Party, where Mac, Magic, and D.I.G. deliver infectious, loyalty-driven bars over a dynamic beat, immediately capturing the spirit of conflict and camaraderie in the No Limit camp. However, the momentum dips with tracks like Best Friends, Like Before, and We Deadly, where Mac's delivery often feels flat, undermining otherwise solid lyrics and instrumentals. Things improve with You Never Know, where his chemistry with Mia X adds depth to the theme of trust in street life. and Just Another Thug benefits from C-Murder and J-Mo's contributions, while Battle Cry Tomorrow showcases Mac reflecting on hardships with genuine emotion. Lockdown Remix stands out as a true highlight, combining a piano-driven beat with raw, heartfelt verses about prison life, demonstrating the potential he has when fully engaged. The second half of the album continues with mixed results. Songs like Paradise, That's Hip Hop, and Can You Love Me, Eyes of a Killer, deliver stronger performances and fitting production, reminding listeners of Mac's talent when he's focused. Yet tracks such as Genocide and Father's Day suffer from repetitive concepts and uninspired delivery, and the album closes with a weak impression from Assassination, despite the smooth contributions from Sons of Funk and Miss Peaches on Still Calling Me. Overall, World War III has flashes of Mac at his best, emotional, versatile, and capable of creating compelling tracks, but inconsistency in delivery and recurring themes prevent the album from reaching its full potential. It's a project of highs and lows, compelling in parts, but ultimately a missed opportunity to fully showcase Mac's lyrical prowess.
Live my life as a killer, then I grew up with the thugs. Yeah, I could have been a doctor, instead I sold drugs. My best.
Only God Can Judge Me is a mixed but compelling album that balances Master P's inspirational messages with high-energy street anthems, though it occasionally stumbles due to uneven production and inconsistent guest performances. The album opens powerfully with the reflective title track, where Master P delivers a spiritual, determined message over a soaring instrumental, immediately establishing the album's themes of perseverance and self-belief. Tracks like Ghetto Prayer and Where Do We Go From Here continue the introspective tone, with heartfelt contributions from Nas, Mac, and Sons of Funk adding depth, while energetic cuts like Step to This and Stop Playing With Me showcase his trademark hype delivery, even if some instrumentals and repetitive hooks dull their impact. Romantic tracks like Boonapolis reveal his softer side, though uneven guest chemistry occasionally undercuts these moments. The album's production reflects No Limit's transitional period after Beats by the Pound, with highs and lows throughout. Songs like Y'all Don't Want None and The Ballers featuring Jermaine Dupri deliver memorable beats and strong chemistry, while tracks like Ghetto Honeys and Get Your Mind Right feel uninspired or mismatched. Master P's performances remain consistent, energetic, confident, and personal, but guest features are hit or miss, sometimes feeling underwhelming or grating. Conceptually, the album juggles spirituality, loyalty, street life, and personal ambition, giving it a varied if uneven personality. Overall, Only God Can Judge Me is not flawless, but its standout tracks, inspiring moments, and Master P's commanding presence make it an important snapshot of his resilience and creative vision during a pivotal time in his career. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of my biggest review series yet. I'm honestly really proud of the grade that the No Limit discography received overall, because I truly enjoyed revisiting the catalog. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, it was such an amazing experience going back through these albums and uncovering hidden gems I hadn't heard before. At this point, I've built a huge No Limit playlist filled with tracks that perfectly capture the label's raw energy and undeniable talent. I've got to give major respect to Master P for assembling the artists and producers who helped create such an iconic and diverse body of work. Now, even though this might be the end of this particular video, it's definitely not the end of me talking about No Limit. There's still so much more to cover. Albums beyond 1999, solo projects after artists left the label, and plenty more content from that golden era I haven't yet shared. This video means a lot to me because it represents my passion for hip-hop at its core. It shows how far I'm willing to go to dive deep into full discographies, explore the music's roots, and find those hidden gems that make this culture so special. And I'll be real with you, when I finished editing this video, I almost teared up. It just reminded me of how much I love doing this. So I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed creating it. This might be my first full discography review of a record label, but it definitely won't be my last. Stay tuned. The next project is going to be just as dope, if not better. Thanks for rocking with me, and as always, much love to hip hop.